Well, hello and welcome to this unplanned video. Today is the 23rd of January and I need to make a quick trip to Mid Wales from here in Devon, which is a trip around about 200 miles from here. And I've been having a look at the Tesla Supercharging map, and Mid Wales appears to be a supercharging desert, as in there is no superchargers. I think there's one being planned for Welshpool, but that's still under construction. And having a look at that map, I don't think there's much options there either. So yeah, this would be an interesting visit. The weather is certainly not on my side. We've got yellow wind warnings of around about 50-mile-an-hour winds, and the temperature feels like around about 3 degrees. So this will not be great for efficiency. So will this be my first case of range anxiety of owning my first EV after 2.5 years? Well, we shall find out, and I wanted to bring you along for the journey. So I'll update you en route. So the car is at 95% battery. I'm just topping it up just before we leave and warming the battery up and getting the cabin nice and warm. I've reset the trip meter as well for this trip, so we can look at the efficiency en route, which I don't think is going to be good considering the 50-mile-an-hour winds we're getting at the moment, and it's damn cold. And it says 7 degrees, but it certainly doesn't feel it anyway, that's for sure. Anyway, we'll see how we get on. Well, we've arrived at Gordano Services, 46% battery, and our current efficiency is 358 watt hours per mile. Obviously taking a bit of a pummeling with the high winds we've got. So it is now just coming up to 10 past 8 in the evening, and we're going to plug in. So we've been here 35 minutes and we're now at 90% state of battery, and being after 8 o'clock, it's only 23 pence per kilowatt hour, so this has cost us £7.92. Well, we've arrived at our first stop for the evening, which is Abergavenny. We've got 71% battery and the efficiency is still pretty rubbish at 344 watt hours per mile. I will be leaving Sentry mode on tonight, so let's just see how much that eats the battery as well. Oh, good morning. You join me still at Abergavenny, just as we prep ourselves to make our way to our final destination in Mid Wales. The car is at 68%. It's obviously used a couple of percent with Sentry mode and all the other systems that run while the car's parked. I'm just going to go and grab a coffee and hit the road. Well, here at the Premier Inn Abergavenny, I think the Premier Inn are missing a bit of a trick. There's no charging facilities here, certainly no AC slow charging, unlike my recent trip to the Village Hotel in Hampshire. I'll put a link in the description for that video. But yeah, it would have been really handy if there was some AC charging here, because obviously I'd have a full battery before I leave. As I said, now I've got to go and try and find some charging when I get to my destination in Mid Wales, which is quite limited. So yeah, these sort of hotels would certainly benefit from some slow charging, I think. So I've arrived at my destination in Mid Wales with 34% battery, and I've managed to find some AC chargers in this car park here. So I'm going to try those. Hopefully you can get some charge into the car. Yeah, as I said, there's very limited options here. Stats for the journey so far. Yeah, 328 watt hours per mile is not fantastic, but considering the weather, then it's not really much of a surprise. That's how easy these are to use then, hey? So we've got green lights. Okay, so I managed to get myself charging in the end. So you've got 2 posts, so 4 chargers in total. This one was fine once I used my Electroverse card before I plugged the car in and it started charging, and I'm getting a pretty good charge from an AC point of view. Yeah, getting 12 kilowatts. Bear in mind this car can actually only take 11, so yeah, that's not bad at all. But yeah, it was a bit of a faff. So this post here, it just would not charge the car at all. Tried a couple of times. So yeah, successful in the end, but yes, a bit of a faff. So it's 14:33 and I've got 35% battery and it's saying 4 hours and 50 minutes remaining to 100%. So I'm going to be here for a few hours anyway, so let's just see how we get on. I've just paid for parking, so you have to pay for parking here as well as obviously charging. But yeah, after the initial faff of failure to charge on the first post, yeah, the second post was successful. I left with 85% but couldn't capture it due to camera issues, but I did capture this earlier screen recording of my app, and it was 4 hours from 35% to 85% for a cost of £27. So I thought I'd have a look at the stats this morning on the recent trip to Mid Wales. So yeah, 413 miles in total and an average consumption of 346 watt hours per mile, which is obviously not fantastic, but considering the weather and this is the Model 3 Performance, which is the least efficient, then yeah, not too bad at all. I did notice as I left there was a new InstaVolt site with 2 InstaVolt chargers, and these are 160 kilowatts DC rapid chargers. The issue being that 89p I would have paid a hell of a lot more, and seeing as the car was going to be parked anyway for a few hours, it made more sense to use the AC charger and was more cost effective. And to close this video out and to summarise, it does show that you can charge your EV in areas with less EV charging infrastructure than other parts of the country, but it also demonstrates it's wise to choose which type of charger you're using. So what I mean in this case, my car was going to be parked in that car park regardless of my requirement to charge, so it made sense to obviously charge while it's parked there. The added benefit, it was a hell of a lot cheaper than the rapid DC charger just down the road. So if you do like this sort of content, then please feel free to give this video a like, and if you can subscribe, I'll be really grateful. That will help this small channel grow. And if you like this sort of content, then please check out the video that YouTube is recommending to you right now. And until next time, catch you later.